After the death of Harsh, there was no political unity in North India for about 5 centuries. The country was split into a number of states which were constantly fighting and changing their frontiers. The important kingdoms in North India were Kashmir, Gandhar, Sindh, Gujarat, Kannauj, Ajmer, Malwa, Bengal, and Assam. In the early 8th century, Kashmir was dominant. Then the Palas of Bengal reigned supreme till the Pratiharas became the most powerful rulers of North India. But in the 10th century, the Rashtrakutas of Deccan tried to extend their power in North India but ultimately failed to their attempt. Rajput kingdoms. The dominance of Rajputs began from the 7th and 8th centuries and lasted till the Muslim conquest in the 12th century. Even after that, many Rajput states continued to survive for a long time. In the period of Muslim aggression, the Rajputs were the main defenders of the Hindu religion and culture. There are several theories about the origin of Rajputs. They were considered as the descendants of the foreign invaders and the Indian Kshatriyas. The foreign invaders were Indianized and absorbed into Indian society. Many legends of Rajputs support this theory. Therefore, it can be said that diverse elements constitute in the shaping of the Rajput clan. They became homogeneous by constant intermarriage and by adopting common customs. They made war as their chief occupation. However, trade and agriculture also prospered. The Arab travelers refer to the prosperity of the land and the great trade of the cities. They built strong forts. The Pratiharas, Gurjar Pratiharas, were the earliest of the Rajput rulers. Its first great leader was Harishchandra. He conquered extensive territory in Rajputana and ruled with his capital at Bheenmal. The Gurjaras were in different branches. One ruled Gujarat and another at Avanti. The Pratiharas involved themselves in a three cornered contest with the Palas of Bengal and Rashtrakutas of Deccan. Later, the Pratiharas became weak. The Chauhans, the most valiant of the Rajput races, ruled Ajmer. Vigraha Raj was the most important king who occupied Delhi. Therefore, the Chauhans faced the onslaught of the Muslim under Muhammad of Kori. The Paramaras were also important rulers, Rajput rulers of this period. The most important king was Bhoj. The military conquests as well as cultural contributions remain notable in the history of Rajputs. Constant fighting weakened the Rajputs, also, they never united against a common enemy. Their lack of political foresight and constant rivalries prevented any combined opposition to the Muslim invaders. फिर अब अरब कॉन्केस्ट होता है सिंध का, क्योंकि मक्का में रिलीजन इस्लाम है, उसका जन्म हो चुका है और इसके फाउंडर हैं प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद। फिर इनकी डेथ हो जाती है 632 AD में। द फॉलोअर्स ऑफ मोहम्मद सेट अप एन एम्पायर कॉल्ड द कैलिफेट। द उमैय्यद्स एंड द अब्बासिड्स वर कॉल्ड द कैलिफ्स। They expanded their rule by conquests and spread their religion Islam. In 712, Muhammad bin Qasim invaded Sindh. He was the commander of the Umayyad kingdom. Qasim defeated Dahir, the ruler of Sindh, and killed him in a well contested battle. His capital Aror was captured. Qasim extended his conquest further into Multan. Qasim organized the administration of Sindh. The people of Sindh were given the status of Jimmis, protected subjects. There was no interference in the lives and property of the people. Soon Qasim was recalled by the Caliph. However, Sindh continued to be under the Arabs, but the Muslims could not expand their authority further into India due to the presence of the powerful Pratihara kingdom in western India. Although the conquest of Sindh did not lead to further conquest immediately, it had resulted in the diffusion of Indian culture abroad. Many Arab travelers visited Sindh. Indian medicine and astronomy were carried to far off lands through the Arabs. The Indian numerals in the Arabic form went to Europe through them. Since Sindh was a part of the Arab Empire, the inflow of Indian knowledge was great. Saw that the religion Islam was born at Mecca in Arabia. Its founder was Prophet Muhammad, but his teachings made the wealthy people of Mecca his enemies. Therefore, he migrated to Medina in 622, which was the starting point of the Muslim calendar and the Muslim era called Hijrah. After the 8 years, he returned to Mecca with his followers and he died in 632. और फिर इनके जो फॉलोअर्स थे उन्होंने कैलिफेट सेटअप किया एम्पायर उमय्यद्स और अब्बासिड्स कैलिफ्स थे, और उमय्यद्स का ही एक कमांडर कासिम दाहिर को हरा देता है और इसकी कैपिटल एरोर को कैप्चर कर लेता है। चलिए अब आगे देखते हैं क्या होता है कि 9th सेंचुरी के एंड तक अब्बासिड कैलिफ डिक्लाइन हो जाती है और जो टर्किश गवर्नर्स होते हैं वो अपनी इंडिपेंडेंट किंगडम्स इस्टेब्लिश कर लेते हैं। कैलिफ सिर्फ एक रिचुअल अथॉरिटी बन के रह जाता है। इन्हीं गवर्नर्स में से एक था एल्पतिगिन, जिसकी कैपिटल गजनी थी। ये महमूद ऑफ गजनी का ग्रैंड फादर टाइप है। जो एल्पतिगिन है उसका सन इन लॉ है सबुक्तगिन। सबुक्तगिन इंडिया को कॉन्कर करना चाहता था फ्रॉम नॉर्थ वेस्ट, तो वो हिंदू शाही डायनेस्टी के जयपाल से पेशावर ले लेगा, बट हिज रेड्स डिड नॉट प्रोड्यूस अ लास्टिंग इफेक्ट। ही वॉज सक्सीडेड बाई हिज सन महमूद। महमूद ऑफ गजनी 997 to 1030. Mahmud is said to have made 17 raids into India. At that time, North India was divided into a number of Hindu states, जिसमें एक तो हमने यही देख ली हिंदू शाही किंगडम है जयपाल का, विच एक्सटेंडेड फ्रॉम दी पंजाब टू काबुल। अदर किंगडम्स में है कन्नौज, गुजरात, कश्मीर, नेपाल, मालवा, बुंदेलखंड। इसी में हम कन्नौज के राजा राज्यपाल को देखेंगे, जो कन्नौज छोड़ देता है और बाद में मर जाता है, छोड़ के चला जाता है जब महमूद प्लंडर करेगा। अब हिंदू शाही किंगडम के जयपाल से तो सबुक्तगिन ने फाइट किया था, बट यहाँ पे महमूद के साथ में उसका बेटा आनंद पाल करेगा। ये जो सक्सेसर है जयपाल का, आनंद पाल। बैटल ऑफ बाय हिंद होगी पेशावर के पास में। अच्छा, जब ये जयपाल हारा था, ही इमोलेटेड हिमसेल्फ बिकॉज ही थॉट दैट हिज डिफीट वॉज अ डिसग्रेस। नेक्स्ट जो बाय हिंद का बैटल आनंद पाल का होता है, उसमें भी ये हार जाता है। ये बाय हिंद शायद कैपिटल थी। आनंद पाल को यहाँ पे कन्नौज और राजस्थान के रूलर्स भी सपोर्ट करते हैं। एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ हिज विक्ट्री एट बाय हिंद, महमूद एक्सटेंडेड हिज रूल ओवर मोस्ट ऑफ द पंजाब। इसके सब्सिक्वेंट रेट्स में हम देखते हैं, ये रिच टेम्पल्स और सिटीज़ को नॉर्थ इंडिया की प्लंडर करेगा। 1011 में नगरकोट इन पंजाब हिल्स और दिल्ली के पास थानेश्वर। 1018 में सिटी ऑफ मथुरा एंड ऑल्सो अटैक्ट कन्नौज। और फिर हमने देखा कि राज्यपाल वहाँ से भाग जाता है। फिर ये कलिंजर होते हुए लौटेगा विद फैबुलस रिचेस। हिज नेक्स्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट रेड वॉज अगेंस्ट गुजरात, और 1024 में ये मुल्तान से मार्च करेगा अक्रॉस राजपूताना और अनहिलबाद को प्लंडर करेगा, और उसके टेम्पल्स को उसका जो टेम्पल है फेमस सोमनाथ, उसे सैक करेगा, और यहाँ का जो राजा है भीमदेव सोलंकी किंग को हरा देगा। देन ही रिटर्न्ड थ्रू द सिंध डेजर्ट। दिस वॉज हिज लास्ट कैंपेन इन इंडिया। लास्ट कैंपेन में हम देख रहे हैं कि सोमनाथ टेम्पल को सैक किया है, और महमूद 1030 में मर जाता है। Mahmud was not a mere raider and plunder of wealth. He built a wide empire from Punjab in the east to the Caspian Sea on the west, and from Samarkand to the north to Gujarat in the south. The Ghaznavid Empire roughly included Persia, Transoxiana, Afghanistan, and Punjab. His achievements his achievements were due to his leadership and restless activity. Mahmud was considered a hero of Islam by medieval historians. He also patronized art and literature. Firdausi was the poet laureate in the court of Mahmud. He was author of Shahnama. तो फिरदौसी ने शाहनामा लिखा हुआ है। अल-बिरूनी slayed in Mahmud's court and wrote the famous Kitabul Hind, an account on India. His conquest of Punjab and Multan completely changed the political situation in India. He paved the way for the Turks and Afghans for further conquests and made deeper incursions into the Gangetic Valley at any time. He drained the resources of India by his repeated raids and deprived India of her manpower. The exhaustion of India's economic resources and manpower had its adverse effect on the political future of India. The Hindu Shahi kingdom was guarding the gates of India against foreign invaders. Mahmud destroyed it, and thus India's frontiers became defenseless. The inclusion of Punjab and Afghanistan in Ghazni's kingdom made the subsequent Muslim conquests of India comparatively easy. Muhammad Ghori. The Ghoris started as vassals of Ghazni but became independent after the death of Mahmud. Taking advantage of the decline of the Ghaznavid Empire, Muizuddin Muhammad, popularly known as Muhammad Ghori, brought Ghazni under their control. Having made his position strong and secure at Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori turned his attention to India. Unlike Mahmud of Ghazni, he wanted to conquer India and extend his empire in this direction. In 1175, Ghori captured Multan and occupied whole of Sindh in his subsequent expeditions. In 1188, he attacked Punjab, captured it from Khusru Malik, and annexed it to his dominions. The annexation of Punjab carried his dominion eastward to the Satluj and led his invasion of the Chauhan kingdom. The Battle of Tarain 1191 to 92. Realizing their grave situation, the Hindu princes of North India formed a confederacy under the command of Prithviraj Chauhan. Prithviraj rose to the occasion and defeated Gori in the Battle of Tarain near Delhi in 1191. Muhammad Ghori felt greatly humiliated by this defeat. To avenge his defeat, he made serious preparations and gathered an army of 1,20,000 men. He came with this large force to Lahore via Peshawar and Multan. He sent a message to Prithviraj asking him to acknowledge his supremacy and become a Muslim. Prithviraj rejected his proposal and prepared to meet the invader. He gathered a large force consisting of 3 lakh horses, 3,000 elephants, and a large booty of foot soldiers. Many Hindu rajas and chieftains also joined him. In the ensuing Second Battle of Tarain in 1192, Kori thoroughly routed the army of Prithviraj, who was captured and killed. The Second Battle of Tarain was a decisive battle. It was a major disaster for the Rajputs. Their political prestige suffered a serious setback. The whole Chauhan kingdom now lay at the feet of the invader. The first Muslim kingdom was thus firmly established in India at Ajmer, and a new era in the history of India began. After his brilliant victory over Prithviraj at Tarain, Ghori returned to Ghazni, leaving behind his favorite general Qutbuddin Aibak to make further conquests in India. Aibak consolidated his position in India by occupying places like Delhi and Meerut. In 1193, he prepared the ground for another invasion by Muhammad Ghori. This invasion was directed against the Gah- Gahadwala ruler Jaichand. Muhammad routed Jaychand's forces. Kannauj was occupied by the Muslim after the Battle of Chandawar. The Battle of Tarain and Chandawar contributed to the establishment of Turkish rule in India. Causes for the failure of Hindu kingdoms. The causes for the downfall of Hindu states have to be analyzed historically. The most important cause was that they lacked unity. They were divided by factions. The Rajput princes exhausted one another by their mutual conflicts. Secondly, many Hindu states were declining in power. The military methods were out of date and far inferior to those of Muslims. Indians continued to rely on elephants while the Muslims possessed quick moving cavalry. The Muslim soldiers had better organization and able leaders. Their religious zeal and their greed for the greater wealth of India provided stimulus to them. Among the Hindus, the duty of fighting was confined to a particular class, the Kshatriyas. Moreover, the Hindus were always on the defensive, which was always a weak position.